Watch out. These guys are planning to take over the world. Yes, these guys.
Improv, no, what's our motto? World domination through improvisation.
Sorry, what is that?
What is that? What is that?
We spent a lot of time on that one.
Meet Andrew, Mike, and Frank. Together, they make up the Panic Squad, a theater improv group.
And the whole thing with the Panic Squad is God has given us gifts to be funny and to make others laugh, and it just makes sense to honor him with what we do. And the way we honor him through comedy is by doing comedy that's clean.
I kind of think that dirty comedy is it's kind of a cop-out. The funniest comedy comes from not having to go down to the lowest common denominator.
We do get booze, and because we tell them, you know, when we introduce ourselves, we're going to do clean comedy. Please give us clean suggestions so that we can do clean comedy. If you give us dirty ones, we'll just ignore them. And what ends up happening is by 2 or 3 games or things, you know, things in, they're laughing, and by the end of the show, they're on the floor.
Hungarian belly dancer.
Good.
They can shake off just about anything that comes their way. After all, they've been doing this for the past 10 years. There are just about a dozen Panic Squad members who perform in groups of 3. The squad makes comedy look easy, in part thanks to audience members.
What's our problem with our potato? Oh, no, we're going to use potatoes to create what? A time machine. All right. In improv, the audience is giving us the material, so you as the audience are telling us what you think is funny and what you want us to act out and what you want us to do jokes about. And so it relates to who you are. So whatever age the audience is, whether it's young or older or mixed, we're performing to that audience.
The Panic Squad brings out the belly laughs for hundreds of church groups, youth groups, Fortune 500 companies, and more. Every show is different, but in a way, their humor shows audiences how we're all the same.
When we're doing clean comedy, we're telling jokes about families and kids and just life in general that people get, and it's funnier because you relate to it.
Their jokes and their stories are relatable. These men all talk about how improv gave them a place to be themselves during school. Andrew started the Panic Squad in 1997 during university. By 2001, he found a group of like-minded funny boys, and it became a full-time gig.
Improv was the first place that I really fit. You know, I believe that God wires us to be a certain way, and we bump through life trying to find out where we fit.
They didn't fit the mold, so the Panic Squad made their own, and that's why improv is the name of their game.
Most of the games, we know how the game sort of works, the content of which is totally made up. We have no lines, and we have no story. That's what the audience helps us do. So one of the games is called Moving People, and we will take 2 volunteers up on stage, and I've lost the ability to move my body, so Andrew's job as a volunteer is to move my body. I have to justify all these movements, and I'm just going to justify them by explaining what I'm doing.
No, Jeffrey!
We try to do a mix of wit, so games that work us mentally where we're doing rhyming or doing accents or doing a lot of puns, mixed with physical comedy with the charades types where we're acting things out that we have to guess. So it's a real mix of physical comedy, energetic comedy, and then real smart, witty comedy.
In this game, Mike and Frank, who we see in the back, have to guess what Andrew is miming, a random item suggested by the audience. Can you guess? Probably not. It's a plunger, made of cheese. They know how to think on their feet, and they're teaching others how to do the same.
As for our theater actors, they're going to show you the example of a block in improv. This is what not to do in improv.
Hey, man, you want to go fishing later?
No.
All right.
Besides performing, the Panic Squad also runs group workshops on the techniques of improvisation. They've worked with volunteers, church congregations, and business leaders. At this Christian conference in Edmonton, attendees learn the rules of improv and how they apply to life.
Here's the beautiful thing. It's okay to risk an improv because what is rule number 1? No blocking, say yes. The thing we found over doing improv for over 10 years is there's a lot of relationship between succeeding in improv and succeeding in business or any organization. Knowing how to say yes, knowing how to support each other, trusting your teammate, working as a team. There's no practice, there's no script, there's no rehearsal. You just have to go.
The great thing about doing improv, and we think the great thing about friendship and relationship in life too, is that you don't go it alone. If I don't have anything coming to my mind, Frank's going to jump in with something, and then there are times where it's my turn to jump in and lead. And I think that's a pretty great model for walking out in Christian community, is that we all rely on each other. We can trust each other.
Skinny
Jeans
are awesome.
Unless
You don't
wear
them.
They are pros at flying by the seat of their pants, ready to handle what the audience, or God, throws at them next.
The
Meaning of
life
is 42.
We're doing youth conferences, and we'll sit at the back and watch the speaker, and at the end there'll be an altar call, and 500 kids will put their hands up, and we'll be, in a small way, God used me to have these kids put their hand up.
As Christians, we believe that God creates us for a purpose. God wires us with the gifts that we have. So it makes sense to give those back from Him. And when you can change someone's day or week or year because they laughed hard, that's a great feeling.
You see, it has the impression of my hip. It is a man's hip, but it is slightly effeminate.
For 100 Huntley Street in Edmonton, I'm Meagan Kelly.
I don't know how to put it together.